It's been a little more than 2 years since Sony released the PS5, but with games constantly pushing the limits and capabilities of this hardware, we can't help but get excited at the prospect of every new release scheduled to drop in the near future. We are big fans of open world games here at GamingBolt, and here are 15 of the best open world games that we can't wait to experience on the PS5. We are pretty sure that we have missed some games, but those will be covered in a future video. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. With Marvel's Spider-Man and its spin-off Miles Morales being the great critical and commercial hits as they were, it only seems fair to assume that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will turn out great as well. Peter Parker and Miles Morales will be teaming up to defeat Venom and any other villainous forces that are pulling the strings behind him. And with new suits that add more abilities to the webhead's already bursting arsenal of tools, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is looking like a worthy sequel in more ways than one. It'll hopefully be released next year. Hogwarts Legacy. Avalanche Software's upcoming Hogwarts Legacy is every Harry Potter fan's dream come true, and we for one can't wait to get our hands on this open world. Players will be able to select a desired house and explore every nook and cranny of Hogwarts and its surrounding areas, and take down foes using a wide variety of magical spells. While the game's development has been rife with delays, we are confident that Hogwarts Legacy will be able to hit its release date next year. Need for Speed Unbound. Need for Speed Unbound is a fresh take on EA's long-running racing franchise, with a new visual aesthetic that mixes realism with anime-inspired elements. The open world will obviously be filled with interesting activities to partake in, cars to collect, friends to meet, and other real-world players to defeat in online matches, and so much more. Need for Speed Unbound will be released on December 2nd, 2022. Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's been more than 2 years since Assassin's Creed Valhalla released, and while there's no shortage of post-launch content that has kept fans engaged, we can't help but have the itch for a new entry in the franchise. The developer is promising the return of certain gameplay elements like social stealth, which has us salivating to see it all in action. Forspoken. The upcoming Forspoken follows Frey, who somehow finds herself stranded in the fantastical world of Athea that also happens to be crawling with all kinds of monsters. A bracelet showers her with magical abilities that she must use to save a crumbling kingdom from extinction and find a way back to her home. Forspoken features interesting combat and movement abilities and is scheduled to release in January of 2023. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Based on the Avatar films, Frontiers of Pandora will take players who assume the role of Na'vi through an action-filled romp set against a certain unseen part of the planet of Pandora. Details on the gameplay remain scant for now, but the CGI trailers are looking promising nevertheless. With massive entertainment of The Division fame at the helm, Frontiers of Pandora could surely be a fun open world with plenty to see and do. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora will be releasing for all major platforms sometime during 2023 or 2024. Grand Theft Auto 6. Rockstar has recently confirmed that the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto franchise is in active development, and subsequent leaks have hinted at the game's many aspects, including but not limited to a female protagonist. Of course, fans are going to have to wait for a significant amount of time before it drops, but we can at least say that it's coming. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Currently in development at Rocksteady of Batman Arkham fame, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League will put you in the shoes of 4 of DC's most famous anti-hero characters, namely Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Boomerang, as they try to take on Brainiac, who has hijacked the minds of the Justice League. The game looks pretty promising with gorgeous visuals, and the combat seems to be building upon the foundations of Arkham's rhythmic gameplay. It will be released sometime during next year. The Day Before. Developer Fantastic is hard at work on The Day Before, an open-world survival game that mixes elements from The Division and The Last of Us, and that combination is looking more promising than what you might think at first glance. Players will have to use their wits and limited resources to survive in this post-apocalyptic world, and other players may also try to befriend or antagonize you depending on their needs. The Day Before will also feature vehicles, varied biomes, and much more. It's scheduled to release on March 1st of 2023. Skull and Bones. The upcoming Skull and Bones will see players assuming the role of pirates as they sail the high seas in search of plunder and glory. The combat will be a lot like Assassin's Creed 4's naval battles, though you will have more options in terms of ship sizes, battle equipment, and related strategies, among other things. While the game has endured a rough development cycle with developer changes and delays galore, we are hoping that the end product will be worth the wait. Skull and Bones releases on March 9th, 2023 for all major platforms. Atomic Heart. Mundfish's Atomic Heart is looking like a thunderous thrill ride through an alternate history Soviet Union that's crawling with all kinds of threats and dangers. The gameplay loop features a mix of melee and ranged combat, alongside special abilities like kinesis and stasis, which ultimately results in a highly dynamic combat loop that should by all means be a joy to engage with. Of course, the eccentric yet excellent art direction is also a major drawing factor in the case of Atomic Heart, and it's releasing on February 21st next year. Dead Island 2. It may have once seemed that Dead Island 2 would never see the light of day, but the naysayers have thankfully been proven wrong once again with the resurgence of the game at this year's Gamescom. Dead Island 2 will feature the same melee-focused zombie slashing gameplay that we all love, with some new improvements and a fresh coat of paint to go along with it. Funnily, the game was recently delayed from February 2023 to April 2023, though we are confident that Dead Island 2 will finally make it to release this time around. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Nakon's Test Drive Unlimited series is making a return with Solar Crown, a new entry set against a massive open world that replicates Hong Kong on a 1-to-1 scale. The simulation-styled gameplay makes a return, and it looks glorious thanks to the next-gen graphics technology powering all the simulation. We will be receiving a lot more information leading up to the game's release next year, so stay tuned for that. Project the Perceiver. One of the more recently unveiled games on this list, Project the Perceiver looks amazing. It combines the methodical but glorious dance of slashes, parries, and blocks from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice with a picturesque open world that's reminiscent of the island of Tsushima from Ghost of Tsushima. At best, we might be in for an experience that's not too far-fetched from something like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and that prospect has us really excited for the Perceiver when it releases sometime in the upcoming future. Death Stranding 2, rumored. Death Stranding has amassed a sizable following since launch, one that certainly warrants a sequel. Rumblings of Death Stranding 2 have been all over social media and forums over the last couple of months, and teases from Hideo Kojima himself have furthered the rumor mill. We have a strong feeling that Death Stranding 2 will be revealed during the Game Awards this year, but do take all of this with a grain of salt nevertheless. And with that, we reach the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on GamingBolt, so please consider subscribing as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.